Motyl, talking toys. This is our podcast, we are making noise. So gather round, all you girls and boys. We're Strick and Motyl, we are talking toys.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Toy Talk Guys podcast. I'm Strick.
And I'm Motyl.
We're here to bring you everything happening in the world of toys. We're talking action figures, Lego, video games, and anything else that catches our eye. On today's podcast, we got a number of quick mentions to go through, just two of them actually. Two quick mentions, then our meteor discussion topics. We got Mattel on the list, some Lego of course, some Sonic drive-in toys. Oh yeah, you know you like those premiums in the old Sonic drive-in. Got some investing segment. We'll be looking at Matchbox action drivers, and then we'll round it out there with collection updates. Full stack cast, Motyl. How we feeling in the new year, 2025? Yeah, how we feeling?
Dude, packed and stacked, man. That's how we like them. That's how we like to get the 2025 year rolling, baby. Yes, dude. Very excited to be back. It's just nice to hear your voice, man.
It is. It's nice to hear your voice too, man. Starting off the year right.
Yes, man. And we're starting off this cast right. So let's get right into quick mentions. Something I'm excited to bring to the cast. It's the Ronald McDonald of the I almost said Philippines. Ronald McDonald of the Philippines, man. Jollibee. You've heard of Jollibee, right?
I don't think I've ever heard of Jollibee.
Man, dude, you're missing out. Like I said, the McDonald's of the Philippines. It kind of infuses Western favorites into Philippine favorites. They've been around for a long time, competing in the same space as McDonald's and KFC. And they are most famous for their fried chicken and weird spaghetti that I can't say I've tried, but I have had the fried chicken.
So back up. So you can buy this in the States? They have these in the States?
Yeah, they have. There's a restaurant in Philly, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? I've never heard of this before. What's it called? Chicken Joy?
Jollibee. That's what it's called.
Jollibee. Okay.
And that's the mascot's name as well. Jollibee. So he's just this big, red, lovable bee. Finally, I guess, they're making a nice little figure of him. There's a lot of like merchandise out there for him already, but he's just in this nice little posable style in the form of, I think it's just pronounced Nendroid. Think of them as like pop vinyls of the anime world. But like superposable, has accessories and interchangeable faceplates. Is like a premium type figure, obviously at the price point of around $50. It is a pre-order, and it's set to release in August of 2025. So, I mean, we can't really talk too much about it just because you're not familiar with it. I've only had it one time, and it was amazing. So it's just nice to, see this guy get representative in the higher end market of action figure collecting.
Yeah, man. Thanks for bringing him on. I learned something new. So they have chicken and pasta.
They have a whole bunch of different. I mean, they got like burgers too, and like chicken fillet sandwiches. So it's kind of like a mixed grab bag, and it's very just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a weird flavor profile, but it definitely beats KFC. Like if you're just like into like KFC or Popeyes, like, I think this beats them both handily.
I feel like those are fighting words, but I trust you, man. I trust your judgment on fast food. I did have a Nendroid before, so I'm familiar with that. Yeah, I bought a Pokemon trainer and a Link at one point, and they did pretty well after I bought them. I remember. So I think these are like pretty collectible, but they were cool. I wish I could have taken them out of the box. I kept them in the box.
Well, cool.
Yeah, man. This is cool little guy. He's cute. I like him.
Yeah, dude. Get your Jollibee.
Jollibee. All right, man. Well, let's kick it over to the next topic. We've got something a little different from Mattel. They've got the brick shop coming, dude. Look out, Lego. Mattel is throwing their weight around. They're like, hey, you guys can brick. We can brick too. There's not much in terms of what this is going to be. It's just Mattel really leaning into competing with Lego, it seems, and trying to kind of copy what Lego has in terms of like buying individual bricks and just focusing more on construction and bricks in general. Mattel does own the Mega Bloks brand, but I think this is a completely new venture Judging from the blocks, like they're printed with Mattel, I don't think it's Mega Blocks that you're buying here. So I think there might be a rebrand. That is complete speculation on my part. I haven't done that much research into it. I saw the main press release and then saw their landing page that I linked to. Have you heard anything about this, Motyl?
No, not since before you mentioned anything. My personal opinion is, at face of what I'm seeing now, it's just like this. It seems stupid, doesn't it? I mean, it just kind of seems like you already have Mega Blocks and Mega Constructs. Like, I don't understand why you would water this space down. Like, why wouldn't you just go all in on like Mega Constructs and stuff like that?
Yeah, don't quote me on whether they're gonna like rebrand. I'm just going off of like, I'm almost positive Mega Constructs and Mega Blocks don't have the Mattel logo on their bricks like you're seeing in the one image that they're showing here. I don't know. The kind of rebrand aside, I think it's a wise move. Like, Lego's just like owning this entire brick space, and it's a huge market, and no one else is kind of playing in there in a major way. So I feel like Mattel's got to get in there and do something.
I was going to say, from your perspective, I'm sure you're just like, you feel like you're on your ivory tower of just like, look at these idiots. Come on.
I mean, I was looking, I kind of want Lego to be humbled a little bit in some ways and have some real competition, and hopefully like, bring prices down and just stop releasing so much random stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do. I hope it's decent and less expensive and something that's like compatible, and they say they're going for quality, so that that's what I care about. So if they hit like a good quality benchmark, then there could be some cool stuff in there. If they get some good licenses, they got some decent stuff over in Mega Blocks. Like, some of those licenses are pretty neat, like stuff Lego typically wouldn't touch. So I don't know. I'm just interested to see what happens.
That's not at all the reaction I was expecting from you, so that's refreshing. That's nice. I like that.
I'm trying to be a little more open-minded. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't impact me too much, but it was just interesting. It's like, all right, it's cool to see someone swinging their weight around against Lego. Let's see how they do.
Barbie checks Kitty's heart and everything's okay. She'll gently wrap Puppy's leg and kiss his tears away. Aww, he's thanking you. I wanna be a pet doctor too. Pet Doctor Barbie doll has everything she needs to care for Puppy and Kitty. Pet sounds come from basket, friend dolls not included.
Strip them down and dress them back up. Here we go. This is a big one. This is huge. Starting off with the main discussion topics of 2025. Mattel and Hasbro team up. Oh, they're teaming up, man. They're bringing together Barbie and Play-Doh. Oh my gosh, man. Can you believe it? It's insane. It's dogs and cats are living together, man. It's nuts.
I like what I'm seeing so far. Talk to us about what we're getting here.
Just images have been released at this point at the time of this recording. But what I gather here, there's a couple of sets that people have seen at toy shows or something. I mean, they're just, like I said, they're bringing Play-Doh and Barbie, smushing them together, and you're getting these sets, which is basically just making Play-Doh dress-up outfits for special Barbies, I might add. I don't think it's just like your standard Barbies. I think they're like different sculpts in the face, so that's interesting for Barbie collectors. I mean, it's all about just like printing and making all these nice dresses for Barbie. Now, I feel like for those of you at home that aren't seeing this, but if you have time, scroll through the images that we see here, because there's a lot of what I feel, and I know I've said it in the past that I'm against it, but there's a lot of what I feel that's going to be mixing Play-Doh around. There's going to be a lot of mixing. A lot of smushing Play-Doh together that doesn't belong. You get your blacks and purples and reds all mixed together. It's going to be an ugly scene for people that like to keep their Play-Doh in order. But if you can get past that, I don't know, man. It's kind of caught my eye. I kind of like that idea of just like making your own dresses for Barbie. I'm kind of into that. Well, I'm not into it, but I'm just like, I feel it, There's something there.
I think they're onto something. I think you're right. That's why I like this concept. Like, it struck me right away, even before I was really looking at too many of the images. I agree that you're going to be smushing lots of Play-Doh together. I'm actually curious how some of the patterns come together. I haven't really seen a good picture.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some more in-depth videos that surface from these once these hit the market. But I really like there's like one image where you can see like a spaghetti maker, the little lever that you press down to force the Play-Doh out and make spaghetti. But instead they've like modded it where it's now used as like a crimping tool to make it appear like fabric. I think that's cool, man. I love stuff like that.
I agree.
Just like little twists on like the classic stuff. I think that's great.
That's definitely the most satisfying part of Play-Doh. Is like those little presses and like making spaghetti and stuff. So they nailed that. I think they nailed the little cutouts. Look good, like where you're cutting the bits of clothing out. Like that's spot on. I'm super curious how you manufacture these patterns. I see the girl, she just has dough. She just has a pink and a purple, but she's somehow ending up with this like really nice patterned. Like there's no way she sat there and individually placed all those things on there. I'm hoping there's some kind of quick way that happens. Otherwise that part's a little bit of a wash. But like the crimping, like crimping to make the ruffles, and I'm sure you would get nothing like that. At least I would. I'm not that great at doughing, you know what I mean? But I would get nowhere close to like the perfection I see on these models.
Another one of my favorites is I don't know if it's my favorite in terms of like actual success rate, but what I feel is funny is the little waffle iron hairpiece. I don't know if you saw that, where it's like,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you mush that down onto Barbie's head, and I guess it's supposed to like, there's like two sides of a mold that you like press on her head. It almost looks like hair extensions, I guess is what they're going for.
Yeah, you're giving her a nice do.
I don't even know how hair extensions work in real life. So, is that any, how hair extensions work? They sort of like waffle iron to your head?
They do something like that.
Something like that.
I think there's a waffle iron involved when extensions are happening. I'm looking at the full lineup of like stuff, one of the last images, and just trying to get a sense of, it looks like the dough, the press, you get a roller. I see something that could possibly be a pattern tool. It's like that little roller. But
yeah, I know what you mean. It's like for, what is it? I'm busting out all my sewing terminology. A hemming tool.
Maybe.
Allegedly, it's a hemming tool, I would say. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, I guess it comes with that like whole backdrop. So it's like a kind of catwalk type deal. That's like the play set proper, I guess.
I do like the stand. Yeah, I like the stand she gets. Keep her upright. That was always my problem with Barbie. That was just a pain in the neck. Was they couldn't stand on their own very well. They would always be toppling over.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, not that I ever played. Well, you played with Barbie more than I did. I never actually got to really play with Barbie all that much. But I would find myself walking down the aisle occasionally if the action figure aisle was so crowded that I had to, do a detour to like get around to the other side. So I'd cross through there, and my eyes would be, catching a couple of things down that way. And I would happen to see like a bunch of dolls for the most part, but then you would land on those like outfit sets that you would just buy by themselves. And I remember being kind of fascinated with that as a kid, because I was always just like, that seems like a waste of money. Well, you're not even getting the figure. Like, there's nothing to play with. So this kind of fixes that in a really convenient, fun way. So I like that. It's sort of like figuring out a problem that I never even had as a little kid, If that makes any sense.
Man, it's a love letter to you, if anything. There was the other thing we were talking Play-Doh last year, the scooter set. They're just swinging for the fences, man. They're just like, it can't be old dough anymore. We got to do something new. So I'm looking at you, Play-Doh. You're trying to keep it fresh for this age-old brand.
They're like, we can't just keep putting out pizza makers and ice cream makers. We can't keep doing that. That stuff's great, but we have to elevate it in some way. So then they just went and knocked on Mattel's door, and they're just like, listen, we're a dinosaur, you're a dinosaur, we need to get something going here. So it's nice to see toy companies coming together. Just because I feel like, I mean, toys are never going to really go away, but I feel like they've been on hard times with the rise of all your iPads and whatnot. So it's cool to see them coming together and breaking bread here with two of their hottest sellers.
For the greater good. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'm digging it.
Did you ever see the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, dude, I love that movie. It's so good.
Don't tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yeah,
2024 or 1991?
Oh, yeah. Did they remake it? They might have remade it, or it's in the works. It could be. But it was from the 80s, I believe.
91.
Oh, 91. Okay. Yeah, dude. So good. A young Christina Applegate. I'm not going to explain the movie, but basically she's into fashion. This kind of just, as soon as I saw what was going on here, just sort of reminded me of a scene in that movie where she's just like pulling all these different dresses of like this failed line of clothing where she's just pulling all these things together and just making something out of nothing. I'm just like, yes. There should have been some Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead branding on this. I feel like that would have been a slam dunk home run, but I digress.
Then they got your phone tapped, man.
I know they're listening. They're waiting. That's why this hasn't been released yet. They were waiting for us to talk about it.
Exactly. Perfect timing.
So there you go. You get that one for free.
Nice, man.
But yeah, dude, exciting stuff.
All right, Motyl. We have got a smattering, and when I say a smattering, I mean a ton of just Lego sets that were released in 2025. So, new year, new Lego sets, and Lego doesn't hold back, man. They blast you with everything. So I wanted to do a. There's way too many to talk about. So I wanted to do a quick lightning round of just the ones that caught my eye and just talk about them for maybe 2 seconds, and we can dwell on the ones that interest you.
It sounds great, dude.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. Set them up and knock them down.
All right, let's start with the first one. We got the big interactive community train from Duplo, dude. And you know us in the Strick household and our Duplo trains. That's why I had to have this one on here. They are kind of expanding the train line here. They're adding new features and just kind of upgrading it. I don't think we're getting this thing because it's pretty expensive and we're already kind of locked in on trains, but I just had to throw it on there. Just loving to see the Duplo train scene continuing. How you feeling about that one?
Yeah, it's intense, man. There's a lot going on in that set. I'd be pretty stressed out playing with it.
I think the coolest bits are the little tiles that it can run over, and the train kind of says like, I'm here, I'm doing something else. But that they have just new tiles, so that's the only interesting part, and I'm kind of curious if it's backwards compatible. I need to figure that out, but that was the first one caught my eye.
And that is a train wash that comes with it, right? That's not for a car. That's actually how you wash a train.
I assume so. Yeah, just run it right through the little dangling squid pieces. Yeah,
the linguine.
The linguine, yeah, the blue linguine. That's what they want you to do there.
All right.
So that's number one. Lightning round. Keep them coming. I thought you'd be interested in this. Blacktron Renegade. Feast your eyes on that boy.
Big sexy. I like that.
Yeah, I thought you would. They're not afraid of doing these retro themes. I hope they do more of this. It's pretty cool. I wasn't a huge Blacktron fan. Not as big as you were. I'm not going to pick that one up, but just thought you'd find that one interesting.
I do, man. Retro sells, man. It's all about retro. What used to be. That's in. Retro chic.
That's the Blacktron set. Want to throw that on there. The next one, I'm actually considering getting this one. Lilo and Stitch Beach House. We're watching a lot of Lilo and Stitch in the Strick household, and not something I watched. Wasn't a big Stitch fan, but my boys love the Stitch. So when I saw this, I was like, maybe. I'll look at it. I kind of like this price point. It's a pretty interesting set. Cool figures. How you feeling on Lilo and Stitch? Was that one of your faves or not?
No, I'm right there with you. That's like when I started kind of falling out of, the Disney stuff, like by myself when I'm just like a young man. I'm just like, I don't know if I can get into this. He seems a little too kiddish and annoying. And that's where I left it, and that's where it has been. So we haven't watched anything for Lilo and Stitch, so I can't really comment on this. But it's a nice house build, I guess.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I like the color choices. It's I feel like they give you just enough, stay below that $100 price point. And I've been liking the movie. We've watched it a couple times now, and it's pretty good. Holds up.
Nice.
All right, let's keep it going, man. The French Cafe we got next. I threw this on here just because it's a new line. It's something new that Lego's trying with these like small, I don't know if they're just going to do restaurants or what it's going to be, but just this little like diorama. Pretty strange to me. I don't know who would really want to collect these things or like this French bakery or French cafe. But it's here, man, and you can buy it. So is this at the top of your list?
No, it needs to have minifigures for me to be interested in it. If it's not minifigures, then I'm just like, I feel like I'm buying like, I don't know, like a diorama from like a boardroom meeting or something, and it's not fun for me.
Yeah, that's well put. Diorama for a boardroom. That's exactly what that feels like. All right, keep them rolling. Next, we got Hagrid and Harry's motorcycle ride. All I got to say is yuckity yuck, yuck yuck. I don't know what they were doing with this one. I don't know if you're liking that look. I really do not like the look of this thing.
It's giving me whatchamacallit, Technic Big Fig vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with the figures. I like the concept, Hagrid and Harry on the motorcycle. I guess there's not much you could do with like a small set minifig scale, but I don't like when they do all these like big figs. So hopefully this is a concept that doesn't continue. So that one, the rest of the Harry Potter line looks fine. It was just this one stuck out like a sore thumb, so I had to put it on there and call it out. All right, next one is something I might pick up. It's the No Limits race car ramp track. And we were looking at these sets, like a bunch of new sets, me and my oldest son. And when we came across this one, he's like, "Ooh, what's going on there?" As soon as he saw that little hot dog car. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I thought this was, I wouldn't look twice at this, but just because he was like, I like that plunger car, that little toilet car next to that hot dog car.
Yes, dude.
For those just listening, this probably isn't all that helpful because I haven't explained any of these sets, but you get a little hot dog car, you get a little toilet car with a little guy inside of it, and there's like a little racetrack, and you can race them down there.
Well, it's a soapbox derby racetrack, so
there you go, soapbox derby, and they're gonna release like little add-on packs to this, so kind of a new line in the city. Like a new sub theme in the city line, so
I like that, dude.
About that one.
That's good, man. I like that.
I thought you'd dig that one, so that might end up in the Strick household in some form. All right, next up we got some Jurassic World, man. Lots of Jurassic World happening. You know I like them bones. This is a dinosaur, fossils, Triceratops skull. We're looking at. There's one reason I put this on here, and it's that. Yeah, no, the set is a snore, but dude, check out that sweet J Park shirt on that fig, dude.
Yeah,
that's the whole reason this is on here. It's just I want that fig with that J Park shirt, and that's it. I'm not gonna spend $45, so I'll probably just buy the little fig for like $3 on the aftermarket or something like that.
Yeah, I can't fault you on that. Fair enough.
There we go. Had to have that one on there. Next up, we talked Mario Kart a long time ago. The sets are finally out, and man, do the karts look cool and the figs look horrible. So nothing too shocking here, but they're out. You can get that blocky Toad and have the time of your life with them.
I'm glad we've built that up and we've resolved it because I'm pretty sure we talked about the teaser on one cast and here we are. There's the big finish.
Yep, man, they're out. You can get them and they look terrible. So maybe don't get them. All right, we're getting close to the end here. Brickheads, haven't talked about these guys in a while. I just had to bring these on. I think these look pretty sharp. It's Transformers. This is Optimus Prime, but they're also releasing Bumblebee. You get both the robot form and the truck form. You can build them both and have them side by side. I just think that's like a stroke right there for Brickheads, which has kind of been sleepy for a little bit. I feel like that's a good ad. What are you thinking on these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a Brickheads fan, but that is pretty tight that they're including the car form. I like that.
Yeah, it just looks good. I feel like they captured it well. It translated pretty well to the brickhead form. All right, next set that I will definitely buy at some point, the Tudor Corner or Tudor Corner. It's the next in the modular building series. This thing's still going strong, the modular building series. I've been trying to keep up with it. They're pretty expensive, and they release one every year, so it's like, close to $300. Like, I just got to set aside a year to get one of these, but I like this one. It's a little different. It's a corner. I'm excited to get it and build it at some point in my life. And yeah, man, just want to throw it on there. Let you know what I'm looking at in terms of stuff I might actually buy.
Yep, that is definitely a you set.
It is a me set. And then last on the list is not a me set, even though I like the build, I like the house, but it's the Twilight the Cullen house. So Twilight set, only like 20 years too late. Lego, good job there. Finally releasing this one after the hype of Twilight is, I feel like, all but gone. Yeah, man, you get that. How you feeling about the house, at least, or the set in general? $220, I should mention, for this thing. If you want to plunk down the change.
Yeah, it's good. I feel like it's the house that you see in like any kind of modern horror movie nowadays. So even if you're not a Twilight fan, I feel like this would still work if you're trying to stage something like that. So there you go.
Yeah, I would really like to build the house. I just hate that it's, the Twilight house. I just wish it didn't have that element, because the house itself looks awesome and would probably be a lot of fun. Just like all the little elements would be really fun to put in there.
If you took that wolf away, I don't think anybody would have any idea that that's the Edward Cullen house. So I wouldn't feel too bad about it if you just got it.
That's true. Yeah. And I think even with the wolf, people would be like, oh, is that just like a nice house in the woods? Like, there's really nothing that's screaming Twilight, like the red truck. Like, I don't think, I mean, I haven't seen that movie in so long, but yeah, even the minifigs aren't screaming like the characters to me. No. I feel like this is a big miss. Sorry, Twilight fans, if you're loving this, but yeah, I feel like this is one of the bigger misses of the year.
I do like that grand piano that comes with it too.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, some of the interior details, I'm like, oh, I like that bookshelf. I like what they're doing there. Like, they just got that big old wolf. Anyway, all right, lightning round over, man. That was the highlights of 2025 Lego sets. There's a ton more. If I missed something, sorry, let us know. Like, maybe we could talk about another cast, but there's far too much. That was probably far too much to talk about. Will
you be investing in any of these other than the corner that you talked about?
Investing. Good question. Just buying. I mean, I'll just buy the corner. If I'm going to get duplicates, I'm still on the fence if I'm going to get like deep into buying duplicates again. I was actually like considering that this year as I'm looking at some of the stuff that I have and considering selling it off. Maybe, but probably of the things that we mentioned, I feel like I said the things I was going to get, and yeah, nothing much else, man. I'm not, like I said, I'm trimming back majorly and not really looking at too much. And I'd say more than half of it is like what my boys want and what we're going to have fun together. Actually, I'd say that's like 80% of it. And then I squeeze out a little bit for like, all right, this one's for daddy and, what I want to build and keep collecting. So, all right, man. Well, those were the top sets I wanted to get out there, and obviously more content and stuff throughout the year as we look at some of these things. But those were the biggies for the new year, 2025.
Sonic's Wacky Packs are full of stuff kids can't get anywhere else. Tasty burgers, hot dogs, corn dogs, chicken strips, even grilled cheese. With fries or tots and a cool Sonic drink. All that plus these guys, the Wacky Pack kids. Checking back into town on the Wacky Pack Express. Cool connectable cars that spin, rock, bounce, and twirl. But you better catch them quick. Only in Sonic's Wacky Pack meals. Sonic America's driving.
If your appetite wasn't satisfied in the quick mentions, here you go, man. Got something else for you to gnaw and nibble on. We are talking Sonic drive-in toys, man.
Oh, yeah.
Wacky Pack. The Wacky Pack coming to the cast. Always a good time. A quick aside, just for the people that don't partake in Sonic. The Wacky Pack has a number of offerings, but as well, they also have some pretty good advertising for their Wacky Packs to boot. For those people at home, click on the link that we've provided here for you, where you can actually meet all the members of the Wacky Pack. I just think it's fun. The red button, so the iconic red button that is just synonymous with Sonic Drive-In. He is the ringleader, the glue that keeps all his friends together. He's all heart. And you get little descriptions of each member of the Wacky Pack. I'm not going to read through them, but, there's the names sort of crack me up here. There's a cheeseburger. Her name's Patty, which is, okay. But then you get into ones like Dunkin' Ketchup. That's the ketchup bottle. Dunkin' Ketchup. How clever is that, dude?
I like him.
But the best one of all is the grilled cheese, and her name is Cheese Louise.
That's pretty great.
That makes you want to just go to Sonic and pick up a Wacky Pack.
It's a good little ad. I like Tate and Tot. I'm digging them. Corn dog.
Yeah, man. McDonald's really just, gave up. They're just like, nah, we don't need the McDonald's gang anymore. But now they're seeing it. They're just like, you know what? Maybe the gang had something, because all this like retro advertising for the gang. The Grimace Shake came back. The Hamburger came back. It's all coming back because they know they messed up. They know they need that stuff.
They know it's time.
But Sonic, they just been doing it. They're still doing it. I love it. I love that they do that kind of advertising. So,
I have a strong connection to these two because you got me those sweet Christmas ornaments.
Yes.
And I feel like I don't know if they're the exact same, but they're definitely like, I got a burger that was close to Patty, right? I got the mint.
Yeah, they definitely they've aged, but yeah, that's the idea. I believe those are the Wacky Pack members at that time when I did get them for you. So yeah, man, that was forever ago, dude. Oh my gosh, that was one of the first casts I'm sure we did. But yeah, I got Strick a set of the Sonic squirters, but you could also like hang them as ornaments on trees of like the Wacky Pack members. It's so funny. I'm so glad you still have them.
Still got them. Put them up every year. My kids love them.
That's so good. Love talking about the fast food premiums. All the junk you get with all your junk food. It's so good. Now, to be perfectly honest with you here, I am quite late to this party. This offering has been on the table for a few months, I believe. But as of the recording of this pod, it is still available. So I still feel like I would like to bring some light to this, just in case all you toy hounds haven't been made aware that this exists. Sonic, they are currently doing a partnership with Mattel, where Mattel has basically offered a smattering of some of the toys from their most popular lines. Let me run it down. We got 2 Magic 8 Balls, which we talked about in a previous cast. We have monster trucks from Hot Wheels. We have Monster High dolls, Rock'em Sock'em robots, and of course a Mattel flagship line, Masters of the Universe. We got He-Man on there. Initial thoughts from you before I get into it.
It's cool. I mean, it's an interesting mix of toys. I don't know much about Sonic Drive-In toys and how good they typically are, but I mean, I would be pleased with this if it was McDonald's or anywhere that has like, more namestay toys, Happy Meal toys, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, in terms of like quality, it's, it's what you get. It's the free toy you get with a meal. So it's junky, but it's fun just because it's different. Because usually like these offerings kind of oscillate between like Marvel and DC and the same properties over and over again. So this is just kind of unique in that it's sort of like Mattel putting on some kind of like a taste test, if you will. Even if it's not effective, I still think it's fun. I don't know, I just think it's a fun novelty idea. Let me just run through some of the bummers and some of the better ones of this line. Obviously, at the bottom of the barrel, you don't want to see them. You'd get so upset if you saw them. The Magic 8 Balls. You don't want the Magic 8 Balls. Those are pretty lame. I'm not sure what link you're looking at on your end or what pictures, but each one of these toys are separate. I don't think you get both of them in like the same pair. There's 14 toys in all, and I think they all get packaged separately.
Yep.
So, yeah. So you get either one of these Magic 8 Balls, him and her. There's a black and a pink one. So if you're getting married and you guys love the Magic 8 Ball, there you go. basically like you click the 8 in, and it just has like a rotating wheel of fortunes as opposed to like the liquid filled balls that have the die in them. It's just like a little spring loaded gimmick wheel. So it's pretty underwhelming. And I'd be very upset as a kid to receive that. Moving on from there, the monster trucks are good. I mean, they're junky, but you know, it's just like a fun toy to receive that even if you're not like a big Hot Wheels monster trucks fan, that's still just another toy that's going to end up in the sandbox or go to the beach with you because it's a piece of junk and you just dirty it up. You know, you have your fun with it. I have seen like videos of it, and you know, the wheels are all just like there's like that differential on the wheels, so it's like you can like run over stuff. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, man, these things are like backyard, I'll leave them out in the rain kind of toys. Like they're gonna get junked up. So
those have their place. Yeah, man.
Yeah, they're good. The Monster High dolls, there's a huge following for Monster High. Guys and girls alike. They love Monster High. We might have mentioned it on the cast before because I believe the Monster High has origins back to like Universal monsters. I think like those are their fathers or something, like the main monsters like Dracula and Mummy and stuff like those.
I didn't realize
the
that.
Monsters of the daughters. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. So there's a big following for these things. And what's weird is there's like 6 of them that you can get. There's 3 different dolls, but they each have a common and a rare form that you can get. And they come in like blind bags. So there's like, okay, I want to collect all the Monster High dolls, but there's a fantastic chance I go there and they give me not even a Monster High doll. You know, they give me a Rock'em Sock'em Robot or a Magic 8 Ball. So I think that's weird, but it's still just like kind of like fun in a way.
That is strange to be like in there with otherwise just other toys. It's like, oh, and we also have a blind bag thing going on if you happen to be interested in these ones. Yeah, that's like, there's a lot going on here for like one premium kind of
man.
Marketing run.
It begged to be on this cast. Then you also got my second favorite, the Rock'em Sock'em Robot spoons. I mean, they had to be spoons, right?
Oh, I didn't even notice that until you said it. All right.
Like why are they spoons? I don't get it. And that kind of like in their functionality that makes them pretty lame. Traditionally they have spring-loaded heads, but here they don't. They kind of just like you can work the arms and smack them, you know, uppercut the heads, but they kind of just pop up and then they just fall back into place. They don't like stick up there like somebody won. So you just kind of like, you know, bop them around a little bit. But I guess, you know, people are doing that in between bites of their Sonic, what are they called? Dumpster flurries or something? I don't even know what it's called. Flurries.
I don't know. The last time I was at a Sonic. Yeah, you would know more than me.
I don't even know what they're called, man. There's something. But yeah, in between bites, you guys are just, you know, throwing haymakers.
Just rock them and socking them.
Yeah. But then, you know, last but not least, they got the Masters of the Universe offering, which is a lot of fun because that's what I would have my eye on here if I was trying to pick these up. So you can get He-Man or Faker. I did appreciate that they did not want to go ahead and make a Skeletor mold. They just went ahead and did He-Man's doppelganger just to save a mold and recolor him as Faker. So
smart move.
I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, cost saving. But they are battle damaged figures. So in the vintage line, they had like a spring loaded gimmick where if it's like you press their chest in, a little dial would turn and it would resemble battle damage. Here, obviously they didn't do that. They did like a lenticular sticker. So it's like if you show it one way, it shows no damage. If you turn him the other way, he shows like he got hit with an axe or something. So
it's pretty cool.
It's a cost saving measure. I like it. I can appreciate it. But yeah, dude, I love how Mattel's just like any way we can get you. They're just trying to drum up business here. I love it. They're just like, yeah, and any way we can hook you. You guys like cheeseburgers? You know, try us out with your cheeseburger. You know, it's like their little last gasp of air pitch here. I love it.
I'm digging it. I know we're used to getting the Chick-fil-A premiums, and man, those are bad. Board games and books, and I mean, they have their place, but not in fast food premiums, in my opinion. So I know of getting any of these, they would be way more excited. My kids would be way more excited than what we typically get. They'd be like, "Wow, real toys! Look at this!" So I'm digging most of these because my comparison point is low.
But yeah, dude, always gotta keep an eye out on what the fast food market's doing. A lot of guys are just doing the same thing. McDonald's just did like Pokemon again, and then I guess they're like doing DC or something. I don't know. Pretty lame. So this really stuck out to me. So it is February of 2025 at the time of this recording, and they are still doing the premium. If not, you can get them pretty cheap on the aftermarket. I mean, I'm looking at a listing here. Currently, there is a $19.99 price point for all 14 toys. You might as well just do that if you're just interested in the toys. So, yeah. Pick those up.
That's not bad. $19.99 or best offer. I mean,
yeah, right?
Just saying.
So there you go, man.
Nice. Thanks for keeping us updated on the world of the fast food premiums, man. You're always keeping me on the beat. I appreciate it.
Always, dude. Yeah, somebody's got to have their finger on the pulse there.
It's the Matchbox Adventure Team coming to you live from the Transportation Center. Cars are jammed on the ramps. Call in the emergency rescue boat. Now we got to release that jam. Drive your adventure with the Matchbox Transportation Center. Comes with 3 vehicles, other vehicles sold separately.
Another reason why people might come to the show is to spend some time in our little investing corner where we dive into a line or just a series of toys and just see how they're doing on the aftermarket. So for this cast, I threw on here Matchbox action drivers. I know we've been talking a lot of Matchbox, and we actually talked about these action drivers. And now that I have them, I'm just like, man, what are these worth? Because they're taking up a whole lot of room. I'm considering expanding the collection, but I want to know I'm like getting into the right thing here. If I need to like bail and get some quick cash, you know what I mean? So I'm scrolling through here on eBay. I linked to eBay and just kind of went through. I'd say on the whole, they're actually doing a little bit better than I would have expected. Like mint in box, some of the stuff that's come and gone, especially like the airport tends to get, in the $120 range. I mean, these are like, I think that airport was like $50 at most when it was on shelves. People selling the fire station for like 140 plus. Somebody sold that for around 150. That was the same thing, like $50 on the shelf. So pretty premium prices here for some of these, even like open out of the box. I was trying to see how much that Pizza Hut set was going for. That one's not too much, but I mean, that was like a $10 original set. And I think I saw one, like with all 4 of those listed. I mean, those were all $10 sets, 4 of them $40, and now it's more than double. Somebody's selling it for like over $100 with shipping, Just a little unexpected, this action driver series. I know that you were kind of a fan of these. Are you surprised by the prices, or you think they're warranted here?
I'm shocked that a lot of this stuff you're saying is retired, right? Like it's you can't get this stuff anymore. It's on the aftermarket. So I think that's crazy because a lot of this stuff seems like pretty general to me. Are they continuing with the line, or is the line kind of dying?
It's continuing. Like I'll be surprised. I was actually. That's what had this on here. I went to the local Target with my sons and we were just perusing and I was like, oh, action drivers, like there's a new set out. And it was I think it actually was a new airport. So like just a redesigned airport and a little smaller. And I was like, oh, dang, they're continuing this because we play with these constantly. They're a hot played with toy. I was considering picking up the airport, but I was just like, let me give these things a gander. I mean, there's definitely some like real busts in there, like that volcano set. Like I think that's still pretty available, but I saw that sold for like around $20. So it does seem a little hit or miss, but like on the whole, it seems like they've all generally gone up in value after retiring, as long as you have them in box, of course. But
now, do you have them in box?
Heck no, they're out and played with and gummed up and half broken and barely working. I shouldn't say barely working. We take pretty good care of our toys, but they're definitely not in collector condition. I'll say that. So
they're well loved.
They are well loved. So I could probably sell the entirety of the set at some point if I choose to do that. These are ones I probably might try to hang on to for as long as I can and try to store them away from when my boys are older and they want to pass some of this stuff on to the kids of their own, because it's good stuff, man. We have a lot of fun with this stuff.
Yeah, but this kind of has your cogs turn into like look at them differently in the stores now, where it's like, well, if you guys want one, then let's grab one for you and maybe stash one for me.
Yeah, I'm getting like tickled with that thought, man, because like I said earlier in the cast, I'm like kind of itching to get back in the eBay game and flipping stuff, and yeah, just I'm getting rid of a lot of things, so it's got me feeling like I want to get back into that flip game, because these were only out for like a couple of years. Like they were on shelves for like maybe 2-3 years, and not even some of these, and they're gone already. So they kind of fit that mold. I mean, they're doing as well as typical Lego sets do, and that's kind of my barometer to be interested in something. So yeah, maybe.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's any other standouts in here. I mean, now I'm in like the $30 price range, but there's a decent amount of sales too, so that's always like a good sign.
I wonder if that's how it goes for like a lot of Matchbox play sets per se, just because, I mean, it's not like they ever changed the scale of Matchbox. It's like, it's always the same thing. So it's like, I guess the play sets would work for anything made from like in the 90s or the 80s, and it's you could still drive them with cars that work in 2025. So I would imagine all that stuff kind of retains its value, or really just like goes up in value.
Actually considering doing Matchbox on the whole for this investing segment, and there's just way too much going on in there, and like treasure finds and everything. Like there's cars that sell for like close to the price of a regular vehicle, like a vehicle on the road that you would drive. Which is nuts to me. So there's definitely a big market. I don't think it's as big as Hot Wheels in terms of just collectors, and I know Hot Wheels is just like an insane collector market. But I like Matchbox better, man. It's just more of what I had, regular stuff. I am eyeing up that transportation center is one that is huge, but I know my kids would love it. It's like that big tower. Like the big parking garage, and then the cars just kind of zip down the parking garage and leave. Yeah, man. Oh my god, that would get played with for hours, and just like the elevator brings them up.
Well, Matchbox is the more grounded toy line, isn't it? It's more just like based on actual cars, as opposed to Hot Wheels, where it's like, yeah, let's put like snakes like on wheels, and like dragons and stuff. Like, let's make those cars.
Exactly. It's like I don't know if it's a perfect like 1/64th scale or whatever it is, but
right.
it's closer to the actual dimensions of a car, where like Hot Wheels, to make them go fast, they squish them down real thin.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then they just like, in my opinion, gunk them all up with a bunch of random stuff. You're like, why is there a tire there on the roof? Like, that makes no sense.
Nice. So are you telling all the fine people that tune in to invest?
I think this is a safe property to invest in. Yeah. And especially in box, like I think you would retain your value and, gain in the aftermarket, at least for a little bit. And if you're buying them and opening them up, still, like I'm seeing like sold firefighter set $50. Like that's pretty close to what I paid for it. So I like that. I like the look of that. So I'm feeling good about this line.
You heard it here first, folks. Yay or nay, man? Definitely a yay.
Definitely a yay.
Collection updates, collection updates.
Dude, that's a new guy. I like that. 2025, starting fresh.
Gotta turn the page. Out with the old, in with the new, This is part of my collection. It's not toys, but it is physical media. I love me some physical media. And this is vintage, I guess technically vintage physical media that we're talking. So I can't help myself. I did pick up some Goosebumps DVDs and some Are You Afraid of the Dark DVDs, but mainly Goosebumps DVDs. Let's just, refresh everybody at home. Where's your fandom at on the Goosebumps TV show?
Oh, the TV show in particular?
Yeah, like the...
Oh, I do love it.
Okay.
I can't say that I'm a great fan, because I only watch it when I'm with you. And
not as a kid? You didn't watch Goosebumps when you were a kid?
You know what? A little bit, but not too much. More so Are You Afraid of the Dark? Less Goosebumps.
All right, fair enough.
And I think it was just like access. I just didn't have the access to it.
Yeah, there was always that something with... Goosebumps always kind of felt like a little more just kiddish to me, whereas Are You Afraid of the Dark felt a little more like, ooh, I don't know if I should be watching some of this. Like, it's kind of like it's like for old kids. Yeah, Goosebumps sort of felt almost a little more cartoony to me than Are You Afraid of the Dark? At least back in the day. They're both awful now, like as adults, but it's like a fun kind of awful.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, man, not too long ago, back in the not so distant future, from 2004, they started releasing these Goosebumps episodes on DVD, and they released them in what my opinion is probably one of the dumbest ways possible. And I really haven't forgiven them for that, just because to this day, in the United States, they have not released a complete set, like a complete DVD set of all 4 seasons of Goosebumps. It doesn't exist in the United States. They've done it in the UK and Australia, but they have not done it in the States, which is just, it's a big disappointment, because what we're left with is this smattering of home video releases. And if you collect every single release put out, you still wouldn't have every single episode that was released. So it's a mess. It's a giant mess, and I'm trying my best to clean it up and be a good sport about it. So I have purchased some of them back in the day, like when they were out at FYE. I remember they just started coming out. They like just randomly out of nowhere. I wasn't like plugged into like, oh man, when is Goosebumps getting released? But occasionally I'd see them just get like dumped like into new releases. For starters, if you click on the link I provided, there's a long list of all releases in the United States. And the ones I remember seeing, one was The Haunted Mask 2. So I read that. I'm like, surely that can't be the only episode on there. And it's part 1 and 2. I'm just like, surely there's more on there. And I'm start reading the back. I'm like, no, it's just it's the standard release of Haunted Mask 2. I'm like, okay. And then I see Night of the Living Dummy 3 parts 1 and 2. I'm like, okay. These are like not even half-hour episodes. So I'm just like, why do you need a whole DVD committed to this? And it took me a bit to realize like, oh, okay, once they started releasing, the second series, I was like, so they're kind of like trying to do this whole releasing them to look like the books, so you can have like a collection of DVDs like the books. And I was just like, I guess that's kind of cool, assuming they do all of them. At the time I'm thinking that, but they didn't. They didn't do all of them, especially in that way. So during that time when they were releasing, I was picking them all up one by one, and I was stacking them all next to each other. And I'm just like, yeah, these look okay. This looks all right. And then all of a sudden they stopped doing it. And they started just releasing them in different looking packaging starting in 2008. And I was just like, what are we doing here? Because not only that, but they also did what I thought they should have done in the first place, which is they released discs with multiple different episodes on there, not just parts 1 and part 2. Like they did Night in Terror Tower, part 1 and part 2, and they also put Stay Out of the Basement, part 1 and part 2. Now I don't have a release for, Stay Out of the Basement, a traditional release. It's just like, it's on there. And they did the same thing with Monster Blood. They put both Monster Blood videos on one DVD. Then they put How to Kill a Monster, The Girl Who Cried Monster. I'm like, that all makes sense. But you're messing up the collection, the aesthetic. You're blowing it. You're ruining it. So at that point, I just stopped collecting them because I'm like, you've bungled this release. You're just going to release a comprehensive all 4 season release. And they never did it. They just kept putting out this piecemeal awful mess. Well, then they started putting like double packs out and triple packs out of the same releases. I'm like, all right, it's over. Like, and I stopped caring about it. I'm like, maybe someday down the line they'll put a comprehensive release out, and they never did. So you're stuck with all this awful piecemeal job that they did, this horrid thing you got to look at. But for those of us that have region-free DVD players, which I do, you can pick up the United Kingdom release, which is probably, in my opinion, the most handsome release, which has all 4 seasons on it. But for those of us that don't, here's what I'm doing. I can't stand to just let my vintage collection not be appreciated. So I'm trying my best to do it in a way that like satisfies me and not have like repeats, which is difficult. And I don't really want to get into all of it, but I basically tried to complete all of the initial releases where they all look like books, because I think aesthetically that's just nice. So I'm getting all of those together. Then I'm piecemealing the rest of them just to make sure I have coverage on each of these episodes. I'm buying some of the double packs, and I'm just going through the double packs and making sure that I don't have a double DVD anywhere. I don't want like double episodes and tripling up episodes. I just don't want that as a collector. So it's difficult. If you have any interest in doing it, look at the link that we provided. It has a pretty comprehensive list of all the releases and where you need to go. So it's a work in progress, to say the least. But my collection update here is I actually did a Facebook market with some lady who was cleaning out her mom's basement because she was moving into like a smaller apartment, and she was basically trying to like give stuff away. She had like piles of DVDs, and she was listing lots of like, yeah, $10 for this giant pile of DVDs. I'm looking through it. I'm like, whoa, I see all these DVDs of Goosebumps in there. I'm like, and they still had like the shrink wrap on a lot of them. And I was just like, yeah, you're like 30 minutes away from me. Are these still available? She was like, yeah, $10. I was like, perfect. Met her and got all of them. I was like, if you have any more of these, please just message me immediately because I'm interested. So she has not, but I picked them up. Great deal. And really helped fill out my collection, especially because a lot of these, when you pick them up secondhand, kids have not been kind to these DVDs. These Goosebumps DVDs you buy off of eBay. Oh my gosh, some of them are horrid. I don't know what people do to these DVDs, man. I don't know how you people are handling these things, man. What the heck do you do to them? Go out in the back and like kick field goals with them. It's insane. So it was nice to just like get some very cheap, untampered with copies that I could like interchange and mix and match with my current set, upgrade copies. So that is my official update on the Goosebumps. I just started dipping into Are You Afraid of the Dark DVDs. It is a pricey game, my friend.
Oh, yeah? I was going to ask, like, prices on some, like, on the Goosebumps stuff. Like, I know you got a deal, but typically, if you were to get sealed stuff like that, is it crazy?
It's not crazy. You got to be patient. A lot of them you can get, $10 or whatever, a release for still sealed stuff. So it's not insane. But the Are You Afraid of the Dark, man? They put out comprehensive releases. So the ones you're gonna see if you go on the aftermarket is like, seasons 1 through 7? I think there's 7 seasons. Hardest ones to find being seasons 6 and 7, just because they weren't as beloved as the rest of the series. So I don't think a lot of people picked those up back when they were released back in the day. So they command like hundreds of dollars. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be picking all of those up, but I have a pretty good smattering of releases now. That's like slowly growing. It's going to be one of those things where if I see a good deal, I'll pick it up. I'm not going to be like hardcore pursuing it. Those releases get way too pricey. So, but you know me, dude. I really want to like build up my like, I have like an archive mindset here. I really want to just like get everything on DVD for as much as I can for these TV shows. And before you say your piece on what I'm doing here, do you remember, I think it was like just around post-college when I got my first apartment, I remember I had like adult money. And I remember going on to like, it might have been like Etsy or something, but I got like homebrew complete seasons because they didn't release them.
I do remember that.
Seasons. So I got like homebrew Goosebumps seasons and homebrew Are You Afraid of the Dark seasons, which I still have. So I do have all of these episodes. Some hack did it on his computer and it looks awful. But I mean, I still have them on DVD. Yeah, how do you feel about me doing all this? Just your thoughts.
I mean, it's definitely, I know how much you love Goosebumps, so it makes sense. Just the piecemeal of it all would drive me absolutely insane. I know it's driving you insane. That's awful, man. I can't believe they did that because they had such a good thing going with the single releases. I'm looking at the covers, like they look so nice. What a nice collection, yeah. And they just totally botched it with all this other stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah, it makes you think that they were probably just not selling at that point. Once you got into these like later releases, they were probably just sitting there, and they're just like, we still have it was like 20th Century Fox, I think, is the ones that put these out. Yeah, so it's like they still. they still had like the rights to it and all that. So they're just like, well, we're not just going to sit on this, even though it's not making us money. So they tried to like shake it up. So I get it, but it's like, man, I wish they would have picked this lane to begin with. That was my therapy session, what I'm dealing with right now.
It's a good one, man. Get ready for my therapy session next, man. Here we go. You ready? Collection updates. So I wanted to put on holiday hits and misses, just stuff that we got for the holidays, stuff that we like, and stuff that maybe wasn't so good. So I included three items that we got over the holidays on here, and then a little post-holiday purchase that I'm pretty proud of. So I'll talk about those. The first one up is, and these a lot of these were on our top 10 toy list. If you guys hopefully listen to that cast, our last cast. The first one is the Next Playground, man. I know I sent you video or pictures of this thing. My kid's playing with it. This thing is a home run, dude. I love this thing. I remember you were digging it when we were talking about it on the last cast, but
yeah, dude.
Just wanted to say that it's a goodie. It's a goodie one.
Nice. Yeah, you were showing me videos of your kids enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. It is great for like overactive, well, most kids, like just overactive past 5 p.m. when they just like can't get their wiggles out. They just jump up, play in front of it. It's like totally like Microsoft Kinect style games. Pretty simple stuff. I mean, there's not too much to it, but we're having a good time playing it. And I'm gonna say we play it every day now, but at least like once or twice a week. It's getting fired up, and we're doing some gaming, so it's pretty cool. We're digging it.
Nice. Yeah, dude. Shameless plug for anybody that didn't listen to the last cast. But yeah, we went over it pretty thoroughly in our last cast, in cast 78. So check that out right after we're wrapping here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was good. Good plug. So yeah, that was a win. Next one, Stinker Man. These Superspace tiles. I thought these would be really great. You know, they're like magnet tiles, but big. You can build like little huts, and you're seeing all the pictures and everything, and like everyone's having fun. The thing they don't show you is that they fall down pretty easy, and then they just topple on your head. So my kids really don't like using these at all. They've fallen like too many times. Like we'll put something up and be pretty proud of it, and then like one little thing gives out, and then it's like everything's crashing down on your head. So especially for the price, I mean, it's like $400 for the big set. Like this was probably our biggest swing and miss of the season in terms of like what we blew a whole wad of cash. Wow. And they're sitting in the corner. Like they specifically ask not to play with them when we try to bring them out. I'm like, dude, let's add these to the mix. Like we're building a truck or something. Like here, let's add this. And my oldest is like, I don't want to use those. They're bad. I don't like them. So.
Oh, dude, I don't want to say thank you for letting me know, but it's like, cause that out of your list, I was like, we're seriously considering those, but I was just like, I was definitely scared of the price.
Yeah.
But now I hear this, man. Oof, I don't know.
Yeah, dodge a bullet there. Not worth it. Even like I would give them, if they were like $50, $100 for the pack, I'd be like, maybe, you know, it's kind of novel. It's pretty interesting. We had a little bit of fun with them, but not for $400, dude. Like, go get yourself a couple nuggets and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Like the big couchy nuggets. Like we use those all the time compared to these.
Yeah.
So that was a bust. Big bust of the year. Next one, man, Hess truck, probably the biggest hit of the holiday season. My boys loved. Well, here's the thing: we got 2 of these because I can't believe we bought 2 of these. We didn't buy it. My in-laws, their grandmom and grandpa, bought them 2 because they didn't want them to fight over them. So they got 2, and it was actually a good move because they would not give these things up the whole time, and I can't imagine them trying to both play with the same one. It would just be screaming matches all Christmas. So. Masterclass move, but yeah, really solid pickup.
Nice.
Oh, interesting thing about this, the motorcyclist, which we talked about a little bit, he lights up, like he has a light up feature, and like none of us could figure out how you light him up. Like my youngest son, my 2-year-old, kept like turning him on and off, and we were like, how's he doing that? It's twisting.
You turn the head?
Yeah, you turn the head, man. You gotta turn the head.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I remember that from back in the 90s when they released that one with the motorcycle. That's funny that they keep doing that.
Yeah, you gotta turn the head. We were like, oh man, how did you figure that out? But Yeah, so those were, we got like, oh my, we got way too much stuff, but those are the highlights, stuff that we were playing with a lot.
That's great, man. Isn't that great though? Like even post Christmas, you get all this stuff, and you spend all this money. All your family spends all this money on your kids, and then the next day, all those toys sit on the ground, and then I find him going into the pantry to get the Swiffer duster to smack around. That's not even a toy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, I'm playing with my sword. I'm like, no. Like, play with all this stuff that Santa got you, dude.
Yeah, man. Honestly, yeah, like of the stuff we got, I'd say the Necks and the Hess trucks, I don't know, I want to be kind of fair, but I'm looking around and like, they might be the only two things that really get played with ongoing. Otherwise, it's just like the tried and true like things that they like. We got so much like Fisher, or what is it, Little People set, and like that hasn't been touched. We got like just so much stuff that hasn't been touched. Yeah, man, just taking up space in the closet.
Yeah, but that's the name of the game.
Last one here, not taking up space in the closet. This thing is very much out. We got, dude, the Cars 3, Lego Cars 3 Thunder Hollow Crazy 8 race set. This thing is now considered vintage, and that's why I wanted to put it on here. You're not vintage, but it's definitely retired. Had to go through eBay. Found a steal of a deal on one because this thing sells for like $67+ for this little set that used to be, what did it retail at? Retailed at, I want to say like $30 or something when it was originally out. Don't quote me on that. I'm looking at I can't find it for whatever reason. Probably around, $35 it retailed for. And
wow.
Yeah, going for easily like $70 new in package. Some people are asking like $100. It's crazy. And I think I got it for like $50, somewhere around there. So I was happy. It was complete. I was planning on opening it and just playing with it anyway. There's a story here. Cars. Both my boys definitely love Cars. My younger son likes it a lot. Like really loves Lightning McQueen. Like we went to Disney recently. Actually saw you there, Motyl. That was an awesome time. But like, Lightning McQueen is his world when it comes to like Disney stuff. He's just like, I want to watch Mater. I want to watch Lightning McQueen. I had never dipped into Cars 3 at all. Like, I barely even knew there was a Cars 3. But there's a particular scene in Cars 3 that's the Thunder Hollow Crazy 8 race.
I've seen it.
You've seen that? You've seen that movie? You've seen the scene?
I've seen part of the movie, but this is definitely part of the movie that I've seen. Yeah, it's like a demolition derby, like road race, whatever.
Yes, I'm glad you've seen it. So I've probably seen it 1,000 times now because it's all my younger son wants to watch. And anytime my wife is away, he is just so inconsolable because he's attached to her hip. So he's just like, I want mommy. And I'm like, you want to watch Cars 3? And he's just like, yeah. And it's like the only thing that cheers him up. So we've watched this 100 times, no lie. And there's like, and he loves the big bus. That's what I gotta say. He loves Miss Fritter. She is like, he plays as her, he pretends as her, he like knows all her lines and catchphrases. And I was looking for just like a toy line. I was like, let me find a Miss Fritter. And like, I didn't even realize Lego made this set when they made it. And like I like half remember kind of looking at it at the time and being like, who wants that set? Like nobody even knows who this characters. Lightning McQueen's all covered in mud, but like, dude, I bought this and it was like definitely my best gift I've ever given to my youngest son. Like by far, like just to see him light up and just be like, oh, it's the big bus. Like he was just so excited to see Miss Fritter and like the whole scene. And we play with this like every day at this point now, after putting it together. So it was just special. It's definitely our first like Lego moment together. Since then we have found another big bus that's just like a regular like a Matchbox or like Hot Wheels type car, which is good because this one falls apart constantly, and I gotta put it back together. But yeah, man, pick this one up, eBay grab.
That's so good, dude. I love that. That's like how it works now with having kids. Like back in your no kids days where you just scrolling past Lego stuff, you're like, look at this junk. Like, don't waste my time. Don't waste my time with this trash. Now it's like the thing your kid wants, and you're so excited to buy it and pay more for it. I love it.
Yeah, man.
It's fantastic.
I'm the sucker on eBay. Well, I was thinking of you because I was just like combing lots. Because I saw the price and I was like, forget it, man. That's so expensive. At like $75, I was about to pull the trigger and I was just like, no way. Like, we're like on a way tighter budget. I'm like, I can't be spending that kind of cash. So I was looking around and I saw I was like typing in just like Lego lots and just like, and trying to like peruse and hunt, and like, I commend you, man. You must have so much patience. There's just so much stuff that's just not it. I got like so close on one where I saw the big bus piece, like just like her eyes in one of the things. I was like, oh, that might be in there. And it was like, I don't know, it was like a $50 lot. And I'm like, I don't even know if she's all there and like they're all there, you know. I was just like, forget it. Like so I eventually found somebody that had it used for like $30, or it was way more reasonable. So I felt good about the purchase, got it in, put it together. It's all there. They've got it. We play with it. It's good times, man. Great. Best collection update I've had in a while. So had to put it on there. Well, dang, man. We made it. I think that's going to do it for us today. If you'd like to stay up to date on all things Toy Talk, guys, be sure to follow us on Twitter or X, Instagram, YouTube. We're trying to pump that content out. 2025, new year, new us. Trying to get that content out the door. Just search for the Toy Talk guys on any of those channels, and you'll find us. Please, you can make it your 2025 resolution to write us 5-star review in either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to the cast, and you can write a review or give us some stars. Just do that. It helps us out a ton. And all you got to do is click some buttons. Not too hard. Anyway, thanks for listening, and we hope to see you guys again next time.